They say a man's pride is priceless, but just to survive, he knelt in the mud and shined shoes for the rich. He was the hardest working employee at the golf course. The clients all knew him, and they liked him. They often gave him tips. But in the boss's eyes, that became a problem. The boss didn't want an employee who was too close to clients. He only wanted someone obedient. After work that day, the boss fired him on the spot. Even more ironic, after 2 weeks of work, he only got $82. That money wasn't enough for 1 month's rent, and couldn't even support a family of 3 for a few days. Yet it took all his hard work. He was the only one earning money in the family. He didn't know how to tell his wife. After hesitating for a long time, he finally told her. She didn't blame him. She said the boss was the fool. She believed he would find something better. But reality was cruel. Over the next few days, he couldn't find a job. The rent kept falling behind. The landlord kept pushing them to move out. Right then, the golf course suddenly called. After he left, many regular clients stopped coming. The boss couldn't find the right replacement, and wanted him back. His son brought the message home. It was a chance to earn money right away, but it also reminded him of kneeling in the mud, and the humiliation of being fired. He couldn't pretend nothing happened. Even though they desperately needed money, he still refused. He didn't want to work for someone like that again. He believed he could find a better path. His wife didn't say anything more. She knew someone had to earn money, so she dressed herself up again, and went into town looking for work. She asked place after place, and kept getting rejected. Finally, she found a job as a swim instructor. The pay wasn't much, but it covered the rent. Their son also found a part-time job, helping at a photo studio. Only he stayed home all day, watching his wife and son stay busy. He felt worse and worse inside. The man who once supported the family could now do nothing. Slowly, his wife grew distant. She no longer relied on him. She spoke less and less. Later, she started coming home very late. The one giving her rides was no longer the old bicycle, but an unfamiliar luxury car. The distance between them kept growing. Eventually, she asked to sleep in separate rooms. One door completely separated them. He wanted to change things, but didn't know where to start. Until one day, he saw a job posting for forest firefighters. The job was dangerous, and the pay wasn't great, and it could even cost him his life. But he decided to go anyway, because it meant he could leave this home for a long time. It wasn't that he didn't care about his family, he just couldn't face it anymore. His wife didn't understand his choice. She felt he would rather risk his life than swallow his pride and go back. But he still chose to leave. The day he left, his son came to see him off. He asked his son to apologize to his mother for him. The car slowly drove away, and the family began to fall apart. His wife lay on the bed, without saying a word. There was no light in her eyes. She couldn't understand why the man who promised to protect them chose to leave. After that, she changed. She began dressing up again, wearing dresses she hadn't worn in years, putting on makeup and lipstick. Her son noticed the change, but said nothing, until one afternoon, he came home and saw an unfamiliar luxury car outside. A sense of dread immediately filled his chest. He pushed the door open, and saw his mother with a strange man. She said the man could help her find a job. The man acted friendly, but everything felt unnatural. From that day on, the man showed up often. The boy could hear his mother talking to him on the phone. He could also feel something was wrong. He finally asked her. She didn't answer directly. The next day, she drove him out of town, toward the mountains, where his father was working. In the distance was heavy smoke. The air smelled like ash. She finally spoke her frustration. She didn't understand why his father had left, and didn't know if the family could survive. On the way back, she took him to a bar. She told him this wasn't the life she wanted. Back in town, she parked in front of a luxury house. It was the man's home. She stared at it, her eyes full of longing. The next day, his father called. He said the fire was almost out. Once the snow came, he could come home. The boy felt hope again. He thought things could still be fixed. But soon, he realized his mother wasn't working. She was always with that man. She even brought him into the man's house. In front of him, she spoke about her pain, trying to reach for a new life. At that moment, the boy understood. The family had already changed. Later, their relationship was no longer hidden. The man even moved into their home. The boy couldn't accept it, but had nowhere to go. He chose to run away. While waiting for the bus, snow began to fall. That meant his father would return soon. Not long after, his father really came back. he found a new job, and wanted a fresh start, but his mother had already decided to leave. She rented a place in the city, and prepared to move. His father sensed something was wrong. Eventually, she admitted the affair. He didn't yell. He stayed silent. Later, he learned everything from his son. Anger took over his mind. He rushed to the man's house, trying to reclaim his dignity, but he was beaten down. The boy watched it all, and completely broke down. He didn't know what was left of his family. In the end, his parents separated. He stayed with his father. His mother moved to another city. Time passed. His mother sent a letter, saying she would come see him. That day, he waited at the station early. She looked much more tired, with less sharpness, and more silence. His father didn't reject her. He even prepared dinner. The three of them sat together again, like before, and shared a meal. The boy watched them, and said nothing. Later, he took them to the photo studio where he worked. He wanted to take a family portrait. Maybe this would be the only time. He hoped to preserve this moment, and freeze the family they once were, forever.